Can a language be sexist? Yes. Not only can be, but most definitely is, because people are sexist and people form the language. The language is like the foundation of the society, or the mirror of the society. I guess you could look at it two ways, actually. I think this is true of every language, not just English. Everything starts there. And this is part of the reason why people like feminists and the queer community are working so hard to change the way that certain words are used, or to eliminate and or integrate certain words into a language and into use or out of. That's because this is very important. The language that we use shapes our thoughts. Just in English, for example, I mean, I'm sure we can all come up with tons of ideas of our own, but we have so many idioms in English which are completely sexist, and I think probably most people can say that they grew up saying these things without even thinking about it. For example, when people refer to the one who wears the pants in a relationship, you know, this is in regards to, most of the time they're using it in regards to a romantic relationship. Of course, showing that the one who wears the pants, which traditionally would be the man, that's the dominant role in the relationship. So the one who wears the pants, the man, is the dominant one. Also, you have, like, you could tell somebody to grow a pair. That's certainly a phrase I've heard, you know, hundreds of times. So, in other words, if you don't have testicles, that's what they're referring to. Or in other words, if you're not a biological man, you are weak, and you should grow a pair. You should stop being weak, fix that, and be a man, or man up. Like, we've all heard these before. So, yeah, language can't be sexist without the sexist people shaping the language. So I think it's just inherent. I mean, I would love to hear about an example of a non-sexist language, but I truly don't think it exists. I mean, we can even just narrow it down to the titles. Like, just this morning I was purchasing a flight ticket, and why do I need to let the airline know my marital status when I'm flying on their plane? Like, if you're a male, your option is Mr. There's one option. It's not really an option. For females, I have to choose between Miss, Ms., Mrs. It's just surprising to me that that is still happening. In addition to the spoken language, of course, there's also a completely different set of expectations for how women are to interact, in addition to the words that they say. So the most common example that I'm sure any woman watching this would agree with is to smile. I think we've all been told that in both professional and non-professional contexts way too many times. And just to also add on to that with a little anecdote, you know, I have a friend and a former colleague who is completing a master's program in educational leadership, who was given feedback by her male professor on an assignment, by the way, which she scored 100% on. So she scored 100%, but you know, her professor had a little bit of constructive criticism to give her, and that was to smile. Because, he didn't just leave it there, smile, because when she smiles, it makes her voice sparkle. So I don't even think I can really add on to that. The ridiculousness speaks for itself. I would love to hear of a single male that teacher suggested that he make his voice sparkle. I would love to hear about that. Lastly, framing the things that we say using these kind of disclaimer sentences before we make a statement or before we make a demand or a request of somebody. You know, we add in these little softener statements like I don't know if this makes sense, but, or if you're sure it's not too much trouble, or sorry if this is a stupid question. So in other words, it's my opinion that women have been, you know, conditioned to present ideas in a way that is not too threatening to men. So they should use their sparkling smile and these little softener statements to present a persona that is more pleasing to the male gaze. That's the end of my TED Talk.